everybody, it is the Lawn Gnome and welcome to your December 2018 Funko Pop update. And oh, I sure hope that you have a very soft chair right now because you're going to be sitting here for a while. There is so much amazing things to discuss, partially because of my collection and partially because of all of the amazing news. And there is still some news coming out while I'm actually filming this intro and outro for you, so don't be surprised if this Funko Pop update shows up closer to the end of December, because I want to make sure that I get everything, which includes the 12 days of Funko Christmas, as well as a couple of previews as to what lines are actually coming down the pike in the next year. But there has been some amazing Funko Pop stories, and I'm really excited to showcase them on my channel very soon, but oh man, there is so much amazing stuff to talk about today. I cannot wait. So let's not delay, and let's take a look at how my collection has been going. So as I said, this is going to be a very big pop update, and my collection is going to be no different. The theme of the final collection update of 2018 is franchises, and we have so many additions to my collection that have to do with some of the most classic franchises, some of the most popular franchises, and even some of the newer most popular franchises in popular culture today. So we're going to be starting with two that have no relation, but the one thing that they share in common is they are celebrating their anniversaries, and my goodness, they have been celebrating these anniversaries all across popular culture in such an amazing fashion. So the first one that we're going to take a look at is the man who just turned 80. He is Earth's greatest son, the last son of Krypton, Superman. And there will be some more DC stuff in this video, but when I saw this specific pop, and I saw that this was going to be a specialty series commemorating the 80th anniversary of Superman, which is right there on the back of the box, which makes me very happy, and once again you get these at comic book and hobby shops. The way this pop looked just epitomized the overall Superman. I saw a little bit of the comic book, the Max Fleischer cartoon, Christopher Reeve, George Reeves, the Hanna-Barbera Super Friends, and of course the Zack Snyder version of Superman, which is now part of the DCEU, but this one is beautiful. I love that he's got the pose of him, like, flying, ready to take down the forces of evil. I love how they really got the perfect shades of color, the perfect red, the perfect blue. The S has amazing detail. The face is absolutely wonderful, the determination as well as the big curl on the front of his head, and I was hoping that they weren't going to screw this up, and they didn't. They did put the big yellow S on the back of his cape, which is something that you don't really see much on Superman these days, but they did such an amazing job with him, and I love how he is basically on the little stand. He's floating. I remember that Superman was the first pop that actually featured this in the Batman v Superman line, and I really am happy that I got this because it's such an important celebration. He is such an amazing icon in popular culture, so to actually have something tangible to celebrate the 80th anniversary makes me very happy. But, of course, he is going to be overshadowed by the biggest icon of them all, and that, of course, is Mickey Mouse celebrating his 90th anniversary. And as you can see on the box, it's the 90th anniversary, and this is a box lunch pre-release. He's going to be in all the other major retailers, but this is a special early release. Now, they have been cranking out, Funko that is, a lot of 90th anniversary Mickeys, and I already have the original Steamboat Willie and the original Sorcerer Mickey that Funko gave us from the earlier years. But when I saw this movie moment, I was a little bit hesitant at first. But Fantasia is my favorite Disney canon classic, and to get Sorcerer Mickey on the rock with the waves in the background is absolutely astounding. Let me just turn it around so we can take a look. The details on the rock itself with the grooves in the rock, as well as the color scheme of the waves, dark blue in the very bottom and light blue all the way, even a whitish all the way at the top. And I love the way that Mickey looks. I also love the fact that They actually added the flesh color to his face. The earlier Mickeys do not have that. So the fact that he actually does look better color-wise makes me even happier. But the details on the robe are wonderful. The details on his hat are wonderful. I love the pose. He's got his finger up, casting the spells, and he shows so much spirit and determination that he wants to be the greatest wizard of them all. And the base is a bit wobbly. I mean, it's a very interesting soft material. I mean, it's a little bit even hollow in the inside, but it doesn't really matter. It's a beautiful pop. It's big. It's much lighter than my Baymax oversized pop, which is a shocker, but I love it so much, and I just couldn't say no to this because I just loved this vision of Mickey because it's one of my favorite incarnations of Mickey and it's from my favorite Disney canon classic. So to not celebrate these two massive pop culture icons would have been a disservice to me as a collector. So these two guys are such a proud piece of my collection. So how about we move on to some additional franchises? So with Mickey being the most well-known pop culture icon, we of course are going to flow right into the two big franchises that the Disney Corporation has snagged over the past couple of years, and that of course is Star Wars and Marvel. These are also two franchises that I really don't have that many pops of in my collection, but when the right one just comes and screams out and says, "You have to have this," I definitely need to capitalize on that. Now, there are also some really funny stories that revolve around some specific pops in my collection, particularly with some of the ones that I'm featuring today, but I'm going to save some of these really good stories for another time. But let's first go into the franchise that for a horrible reason is just losing love in my heart, and that of course is Star Wars. Now, you guys know what I've been saying about Star Wars over the last couple of years with the new franchise coming out, but in the last few years, Star Wars has given us some really great things, and one of them was Star Wars Clone Wars, and it's a fantastic series. I also think that Star Wars Rebels is spectacular as well, but I was basically getting a whole bunch of different pops, and when I went to GameStop and ThinkGeek and Hot Topic, there were always these buy two, get one free, so I said to myself, which ones would I not mind having in my collection as long as I don't have to pay for them, and it was these two Star Wars characters. But let's go into them. The first one, of course, is one of the greatest Star Wars characters that has been introduced to us. It was actually by Lucasfilm, and it is Ahsoka Tano. She was introduced in Star Wars Clone Wars. She has become such a fan favorite in the world of Star Wars fandom. She is a strong female character. She's one heck of a fighter. She was Anakin Skywalker's apprentice, and she even showed up in Star Wars Rebels, and I'm really hoping that this is a character that the Star Wars lore will use a lot more often. But I love the details. I love the look of the colors. I love the tattoo work on her face. I also love the way the back of her head looks, especially with the gold coming down that she wears on her head. She's also a dual-wielding lightsaber artist, and she's got the two green lightsabers held very, very beautifully, and the intricacies on her uniform is absolutely spectacular. I love the bands around her arm, the belt, and the little floral pattern on her belt, also really cool as well, all the way down to her boots. The one thing that I'm not too thrilled about in regards to the bobbleheads these days, especially the Star Wars, is that you can't take them off their stands anymore. There are even rumors that Ahsoka might show up in Star Wars Episode 9. I mean, look, they're trying to save the franchise based on the horribleness that was The Last Jedi, say what you will, but I love Ahsoka. I'm glad to have her in my collection. And the next one is Yoda. Now, we have gotten many versions of Yoda in Funko Pop form, but there was never really any Yoda that I particularly had my eyes for in a positive way. I did like the Dagobah Yoda, but it just wasn't something that I really, really wanted. But when I saw the Clone Wars Yoda, this one just screamed out, you should definitely add this into your collection. And I just loved the details. This is definitely the best sculpted Yoda that they have made so far. He looks very much like the Dagobah Yoda, but he has a little bit more youth in him, especially when it comes to the green skin. It's a little bit paler on the Dagobah Yoda from The Empire Strikes Back, but I also love the fact that his ears aren't even. One's actually, like, flopping to the side, which is really cute, and I love the grin on his face. He's got his cane, he's got his traditional Jedi robes, and even in the back, I love the style of his hair. He had a lot more hair in the back when it came to the Clone Wars, but this is definitely a very good-looking pop. I love this Yoda. I got him for free, not gonna deny that, but I am actually glad to have a Yoda in my collection, and the fact that I finally got one that I was willing to get makes me very happy. But now I want to go into this Walgreens exclusive 10 years of Marvel Studios movie moment. Now again, like Star Wars, Marvel is the same. I don't have as many Marvel Pops as I do DC. I do have my share of them, and if they decided to make more X-Men Pops based on characters that I like, I would definitely get them, but I never actually owned any of these from the Marvel Cinematic Universe until now. And there is a great story to go along with this one, but it's going to be saved for another time because there's so much more to go through in regards to this collection. But when they announced they were going to be making a movie moment celebrating the 10 years of Hulk smashing Loki from Avengers, the first film, I was like, I gotta get this Pop. It's awesome. The details on this are great. It's very lightweight. I'm really surprised, and I was actually curious to see if they were going to pull it off, but yes, Hulk is a bobblehead, but Loki is not, but I love the look. I mean, the base is very plain, because it's basically a smooth silver floor in Stark Tower, and in the background of the packaging, I know you really can't see it, but there is actually a pop cartoon version of the rest of the floor of Stark Tower that this whole thing took place on. The details on Hulk's face are amazing. You've got the big Hulk smash grin. Also, I love the tears in his pants because he wasn't wearing those stretchy pants that he has in Avengers Age of Ultron. He's even got two little ass pockets, which is really funny, but I love it, and the tears are great on the bottom of the pants as well. Also, the details on the muscles all over great, and of course, Loki's outfit is perfect, and I love the way the cape is like curving and flowing like a wave. It is beautiful, as you can see over here, and you've even got Loki's hair in the back. You can't really see it because it's being taken over by the cape there, but they got it down to a good detail there. And also, I love the gold trim on his uniform as well, and I love how his legs are splayed out just like in the film, and you can see the big fist wrapped around his other leg that Hulk is tossing him with. This is an amazing Pop, and I love the fact that I have it in my collection. I also am glad to actually have these all, but the Marvel ones specifically because, you know, I love the MCU. They're such great films, and it was just nice to know that they actually did come out with one that the fans would really just go out of control for. I was actually very happy that this one was not a New York City Comic Con exclusive or any extremely difficult to get exclusive. Walgreens can be hit or miss sometimes, but I'm glad to have this, and these three Pops are great. So let's continue with the next series of franchise Pops. So you can't rant and rave about Marvel in my world and not start doing the exact same with DC. And of course, the big film that is coming out before year's end is the newest addition in the DCEU, which is Aquaman. Now, this whole series of films in the franchise have been very hit or miss, but all I do know is people loved Wonder Woman, and so far, what I am hearing about the James Wan directed film Aquaman, there are a lot of very positive reviews about this movie, and it's just making me all the more excited, and who knows, maybe this will be the film alongside Wonder Woman that saves the DC franchise for film, but I brought out an old favorite. I brought out my original Batman v Superman Aquaman to celebrate this, of course played by Jason Momoa, and you know what, there have been a lot of different versions of the Aquaman Pop in regards to the Justice League line, and now the Aquaman line, and I love the new one in the Aquaman line because he's got the orange suit, but I've always been such a fan of this one because I just love the details of the tattoos, the blonde in his beard. I love the way that they did this. He looks just like Jason Momoa. This Pop is absolutely wonderful, and I also just feel that this one encompasses the 1990s Aquaman that I grew up with. So I really do like this one. Even though I did grow up with the Super Friends Aquaman, I always liked this specific look, but I had to get my hands on his Rogues Gallery. I didn't care for Mira or anything like that. It was the Rogues Gallery that I cared about, and oh my goodness, alongside all the other Pops in this collection, they did not disappoint. And these are two of Aquaman's most well-known villains, and one of them happens to be one of my all-time favorite DC villains. But first, let's take a look at Orm, who is also known in the comic books as Ocean Master. What a fantastic Pop. First of all, one of the few things I love that they did was they gave the villains red eyes, because that is villainy to me. But this is exactly like he looks in the comic books. I love the way the helmet looks with the scaling and the fish look. It's absolutely fantastic. The texture of the cape and the uniform feels like scales, and the blend of purple and silver is wonderful, and the the details on his trident weapon are wonderful too. They did an absolutely phenomenal job on Ocean Master, and I wouldn't have got him if he didn't look this good. But the one that was not going to be missed, in addition to my collection, of course, is one of my all-time favorite villains in the world of DC, and it, of course, is Black Manta. I was very nervous if they were not going to include him in the Aquaman movie, but when I saw him being in the credits on IMDb, and when I first saw him in the teaser trailer, my heart skipped a beat. I was so excited, and my God, did they do a great job with this pop. Even though he is just a solid black, you just gotta take a very good look at the details on the uniform. Very similar to what they did with General Zod in the Man of Steel Funko Pop, but all the details on this, I love the eyes. They did such a great job on him, and I love all of the details on the helmet with the sculpting. So many details, even on the back with the little rocket boosters and a little bit of red seeping out. Also the weapons that he's got with the knife on his wrist, as well as the big sword, all the way down to the boots. Oh my lord, this is one of the most beautiful Funko Pops I have seen in the DCEU line, and seeing this up close, I'm just saying to myself, oh man, when he shows up on screen, when I finally get to see the Aquaman movie, I'm gonna flip the hell out. So I am so excited for this movie, and I'm so happy to have some of Aquaman's rogues gallery, also because of the fact that when I was little, I didn't know much about DC as I did with Marvel. You can thank Bruce Timm for giving me a whole bunch of DC knowledge, but I am now extremely excited to see Aquaman, and now I'm even more excited for some of the other movies that are coming out in the DCEU in the next 2 years. So let's conclude the whole franchise talk with a whole bunch of additional pops revolving around a specific genre of storytelling. And the final thing that we're going to be going over today is 3 of the most popular fantasy franchises of the last 20 years in popular culture. So many great things to talk about, and each and every one of these 3 franchises is actually celebrating a very special thing as well. So first we're going to take a look at 2 new additions to my collection from the films, The Lord of the Rings, the books as well, and we are actually celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the conclusion of the original Lord of the Rings film trilogy, and this is actually part of Wave 4. Yeah, not Wave 3, because everybody forgets that Sauron was a pop on his own a couple of years before they decided to make all the Lord of the Rings characters. But when I saw that they were making Gimli, who is one of my all-time favorites, I knew I had to get him. But at the same time, you can't get Gimli without Legolas. I actually have a great story about these pops as well, but I'll get into that another time. But the story that I do want to talk about is the fact that I took a Lord of the Rings class, and we talked about the friendship of Legolas and Gimli, and we always thought that it would have been so awesome if they actually continued to make book series about these guys just going off on adventures. And when I talked about that with my own personal friends, we always thought that it would be really funny if they ended up having a sitcom with the 2 of them in an apartment in the East Village of New York City one day. Like, that would have just been funny, even though completely out of left field, but still very funny. But I had to get them both, and the details on them are fantastic. I was very impressed by the Legolas pop. First of all, you got the pointy ears, which is great, but when you turn them around, you got the beautiful work on the hair with the braids, which is wonderful, but the details on his outfit are incredible, even all the way down to the details on his bow. Just so much intricacy. I absolutely love it. And of course, Gimli is so much more specific when it comes to the detail. I mean, you've got the beautiful work on the chainmail, the work on his axes, his beard, of course, the patterns all around his helmet. You've even got his big long braid in the back and his cape as well. Such an amazing pop. You gotta really go underneath to see the details there. That's one of the few things I love about Funko. Even when big heads cover up details on the rest of them, they still make an effort to make those details so you can try and search for them. But 2 great pops from a great franchise. So glad to have these guys in my collection, especially considering that this is one of the few franchises that I don't have that many pops of. I'm very specific. Same with the next one, which of course is Game of Thrones, and they've officially announced the final season. What an impact this show has made. And I had to get myself these characters because They are two of my favorites. When I found out that Olena Tyrell was going to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I was like, Diana Rigg, I love her. She is such a great character on the show. Had to get her. She is so incredible. One of the best characters on the show, and I love the look. The wrinkles on the eyes, all the intricacies on her head covering, all the way down to the glass of wine. And it really looks like there's liquid in there, which is fantastic. Not to mention the beautiful colors. I think that she has an amazing color palette, and so glad that I managed to get her. She was easy to get. Really, really surprised. But I can't have a Lord of the Rings pop collection if I don't have my favorite character, and I waited so patiently, but we got everybody's favorite gossip queen of Westeros. Yes, Lord Varys has finally become a pop, and I said, I don't care what he looks like, I have to get him because he is my favorite character on the show. Such a great one. You never know what side he's truly on, and he even has a great sense of humor, but the details on him are wonderful. I love the head creases painted on, and I love the bewildering or intrigued look on his face, however you want to perceive it, and I love the pale yellow with the pale green details all around his robe, and I've even loved the fact that he's got these really pointy shoes, but he looks like he's holding a secret and he doesn't know if he wants to tell you or not. So having him in my collection, also such a beautiful thing. He's probably going to be the very last Game of Thrones pop I ever collect. I don't have that many of them either, but the ones that I have are my all-time favorite characters. I mean, I was a fan of Peter Baelish, but the pop was lousy, so I didn't get it, but they did a great job with these two. And finally, we have to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Harry Potter franchise starting in books. I got some more pops in this collection, and there are a lot of exclusives in this little fantasy grouping here. The first one is from Books A Million, and I wouldn't have gotten it if it wasn't for the fact that I actually told people, wouldn't it be funny if they ever made Seamus Finnegan with a smoky face after he conducted his spell in the first film? And they did it! They made it! This is truly a gift for the fans, and I love it. I love the spikiness of the hair. I also love the gray singes in his hair, the musty face, the fact that he's got his Gryffindor robes. Of course, they always don't disappoint with the details on the robes. I love the way his hood looks. Very, very scraggly and very, very baggy because he was also one of the smaller characters in the show. Very, very short kid, but I love Devin Murray in this movie, and he just did a fantastic job as Seamus, and this is truly a fan favorite. The next one is a GameStop exclusive, and it was part of a collector's box, but I wasn't interested in the box itself. But you can always get the pops from these collector's boxes on eBay, and there was a chase as well, but I didn't care for it. I wanted to get the regular one, and of course it's Sirius Black. Now there's already a Sirius Black in the collection, but this is the Have You Seen This Wizard Sirius Black. That's one of my favorite parts of The Prisoner of Azkaban, so of course I had to get this one. And I don't know if any of you guys have this very weird line going all the way around the hair in the back. It's like they pasted the backside of this one's head on. I don't know, but I love the scowling face and the red. You see the slight pink around the eyes, like he's been in prison for so many years. But the details on the prison pants, his scraggly jacket, and the details on the sign. They have the exact lettering, and it says Azkaban Prison right on the top. If you can't see it, I'm sorry, but that's what it says. And it really is wonderful. The details are fantastic on this one, and I also have the little curls falling down over his face. I think one of the more interesting things for this that would have probably made it better is if they gave him an opened mouth, like he was actually like maniacally laughing, but it's still a great pop, and I'm so happy to have this in my collection. And the final one is one that I thought was one of the more innovative things that Funko made this year, but I really didn't care about getting it. But a friend of mine who went to Comic-Con said to me, I'm going to Comic-Con, is there anything that you like? And I said, well, I think me and my wife would really love the Professor Quirrell pop, and of course, he got it for me. Actually, he didn't get it for me at the con, he actually ordered it from FYE, where it was an exclusive, but this, of course, I knew was going to be the most popular in the Harry Potter releases for the con, and it's Professor Quirrell, of course, played by Ian Hart. And why is this one so special? Well, obviously, it's because of the little innovative twist that they gave. I'm just going to take the camera off of my thing over here, just so I can put it down, so I can do this. Take his turban off, because my wife said, wouldn't it be great if they actually put Voldemort in the back of his head? And of course, if you turn him around, there is the Dark Lord himself. The little scars on his face, really good. He doesn't really look like Ralph Fiennes or the Voldemort pop, but I really think they did a better job trying to make the Voldemort face on the back of Professor Quirrell look a little bit more like the pop, which I think is great. And you've also got the back of this turban straggling on his back, which I think is great. But this is a wonderful pop, and I love the fact that the turban is detachable. It's such an innovative thing, and I am so glad that they did this little fan thing. It's always great because Funko really does do a lot for the fans. I'm just going to put the turban back on his head. You gotta be a little bit careful with it because it's not easy, and you don't want to ruin the pop either. And you want to make sure that it lines up. Alright, there we go. So we'll put him back over here. Sorry about that. But yeah, it's such a great pop, such a fan favorite, and to celebrate Harry Potter's 20th anniversary, you can't go wrong with these specific fan favorite styles of these characters. All of these pops are wonderful, and I am just amazed that I managed to get through this whole collection thing. As you can see, I really did a lot of work on collecting pops for my collection over the past few months, but this was the best time to show it to you guys for a nice little end-of-the-year thing, so let's get on to the news and get another snack or another drink and just make sure you're comfortable because there's way too much news. If you think this was large, oh boy, we're not done. We are not done. So guys, I really hope that you're ready for all of this because there is just way too much news that has been given to us over the last couple of weeks, and they're still not done. The year is almost over, and they haven't even given us a taste of what is yet to come in the coming year, so I can't even tease it with any of those cool logos around the Funko Pop logo. So we're just going to work with what we have, but that's not bad. I'm not selling myself short here because there's a great deal of stuff, and some amazing stuff as well. So I've got two specialty series items to talk about first, and as always, just in case you didn't know, these are items that you can only get at comic book and hobby shops. Great to do nice things for small businesses around the country. And the new specialty series are great. We've got a glow-in-the-dark Genie from Aladdin, which is awesome. I think he deserves to be glow-in-the-dark. I believe that Jafar came out a couple of months ago, and he was a glow-in-the-dark exclusive, as well as his regular. And there's also a new box of Funko cereal. You guys know my attitude about them. I don't really care. But for all of you DCCW Flash fans, there's going to be a specialty series box of Funkos with the Flash on them. So I'm hoping that you guys are excited for these. I kinda, sorta want the Genie, but I'm not really sure because I already have him in my movie moment, Aladdin's First Wish, but we will see. Anything is possible. And the Funko shop also gave us some very interesting exclusives, and there's also some really nice things to talk about in the spirit of the holiday season. They offered a special edition Superhero Freddy Funko, which was sponsored by the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so all of the proceeds went to Make-A-Wish. I think that that is absolutely wonderful. I'm a little upset over the fact that they made it such a limited piece. They really should continue to make this one because we can't stop giving to charities that we know are for a good cause. But they also gave us 3 more of their Spastic Plastic characters, as well as another character from the Hostess mascot line, which is Fruit Pie the Magician. Again, I didn't even know that they had mascots outside of Twinkie the Kid, but that's 3 right now, so let's see what happens in the future months. And as I said, plenty of Funkos, so many different kinds, and from so many different things. I mean, we've got everything from FYE exclusives, as well as the fact that they were part of a Fashion Weekend convention. I don't remember the exact name of the convention, but they offered a ton of their cereals over there as exclusives, including the Red Ranger, Rugrats, and Hong Kong Phooey, and they also went outside the box, pun intended, to include other things outside of little Funko Pops, like stickers or little action figures, or in the case of the Struts, a record. I think that that's very interesting, but again, I'm not interested in these. I just don't understand the appeal. I mean, I've heard the cereal isn't even that good, so I have to admit I am surprised that they keep cranking these out because apparently they're selling. And we also had a couple of very awesome exclusives from Disney in various ways. We have a new theme park exclusive of Red from the Pirates of the Caribbean line. We also had a new addition to the Diamond Collection, which was the Evil Queen, exclusively at Hot Topic, as well as Superhero Stitch, which is a Pop in the Box exclusive, and from their newest Disney Treasure Box, a scented Tiki Stitch, and apparently he smells like pineapples, and he was available at Hot Topic. I believe the boxes came out about a week ago, or maybe even 2 weeks ago, but they're much easier to find than previous treasure boxes, so if you want a Stitch that smells like pineapple, go and get your Disney treasure box. Foot Locker even got into the game. We have some very interesting areas where Pops are being sold now. This is not the only one, but apparently this guy's a shoe designer. His name is Steve Van Doren. I never heard of him, but he apparently is part of the Vans shoe company, and they made these 2 Pops of him called Vans Off the Wall, and you can get these exclusively at Foot Locker. Are they still available? I have no idea, but that is where you were able to get them. And also, Regal Theaters did this last year when Justice League came out. You were able to get an unmasked Flash from Justice League, and they're doing it again this year when Aquaman officially hits theaters. A very, very rare and exclusive Pop, an unmasked Black Manta. So, if you plan to see this for a premiere, I've heard great things about the movie, which makes me very, very happy. You can get yourself an unmasked Black Manta. Oh man. There are boxes galore, everybody. Everything from just regular boxes with Pops and other items, as well as clothing, as well as exclusives for DVD releases with very rare Pops. And there are so many from everywhere. I mean, GameStop usually runs the gamut, but apparently Target has really gotten into the game. And that includes a Home Alone box, which includes an exclusive Kevin, as well as an Aquaman box with a golden chrome Aquaman, as well as a Redbox exclusive Predator, which includes a red Predator, and other things, including HMV. I mean, that store doesn't even exist in the United States, so I have no idea where this Pop will be available in the United States, but there's going to be an exclusive Venom box, and it is going to include Eddie Brock consumed by the symbiote. Yeah, it's a little weird, but if you look at the lower center, that big black mass all the way to the right, that's a Funko Pop. I don't know what it is, but apparently that's what I think it is, so you can get that too, as well as a GameStop exclusive box of My Hero Academia and Barnes & Noble's, which will include a Barnes & Noble exclusive Clear Golem, which is already available, but you can also get a new version of Galadriel. And of course, the big one was the Black Friday box from GameStop, and the theme was retro cartoons, and it turned out it was all Disney in terms of the Funko Pops, particularly the Disney Afternoon, which makes me very happy because I love the Disney Afternoon. Not only did you get Tom and Jerry dolls and Monster Cereals Pez dispensers, but it's the Pops. They really sell. And of course, you've got a Goof Troop Pop, a Chip 'n Dale Rescue Ranger Pop, a Gargoyles Pop, a Darkwing Duck Pop, and a Tailspin Pop. Great characters, I know them all, and of course you also get exclusives. The one that really shines in my eyes is the Chase Monterey Jack. Those green and yellow swirly eyes, which means he smells cheese. That's pretty awesome. But also the other ones look great. I love the Megavolt. He's a glow-in-the-dark Chase. I also love the Max holding the skateboard. I mean, I was kind of thinking about getting the box just because of the Disney Afternoon characters, but I pretty much am certain that this means there's going to be more of these characters from more of these shows on the way. So now I sort of am expecting a Chip 'n Dale Rescue Ranger double pack, and if it does come out, I will probably be getting that. And t-shirts. So many t-shirts from so many different areas. Our usual places like Box Lunch and Target, but also another company decided to get into the game, and it is Finish Line, and they offered a signed box of Blink-182's Travis Barker with a t-shirt, which is pretty damn awesome. But you got so many other ones like Aquaman and Batman. There's even a Die Hard box and a Pennywise box. So many different things to choose from so many different fandoms. So this seems to also be the way that they're going to be selling their t-shirts from now on. They're not selling them individually, I don't think. So this is definitely an interesting treat for the holidays, everybody. I'm pretty sure that Die Hard box from Target is going to be the #1 seller. And we also have some subscription boxes outside of Disney Treasures. We have the new Smuggler's Bounty box, and this one was the theme Bespin Cloud City, and the pop was a movie moment, which is Boba Gets His Bounty. That's an awesome looking pop. It's got Boba Fett standing over the Han Solo frozen in carbonite, and if you take a look at the box, there's a little scene in the back, and there's actually Darth Vader standing on the top of those stairs, and yes, apparently he is a pop version of Darth Vader, so that's pretty cool. And we also got another box, which was the Marvel Collector Core, but not many people were happy about this. It was the MCU 10-year anniversary box, and it included probably one of the most unpopular pop movie moments from one of the more unpopular MCU films, and it is Whiplash versus Iron Man from Iron Man 2. Now, I've got to say the truth. I think the pop looks absolutely fantastic. I love the details on the lightning around the whips that Whiplash is holding, as well as him with the toothpick in his mouth, and the details on the armor of Iron Man look great, but out of all the movie moments that you could have chosen, why did you choose this? Why couldn't you have gone with something a little more epic? A lot of people wanted to see the Avengers all in a circle, so movie moments don't have to be two pops only. You can put a whole bunch of them on one stand. I think that would have been pretty cool. But what about Hulk punching Thor? That's a really funny moment from the movie. That's pretty cool. Or just Iron Man coming out of the cave, or Captain America transforming into Captain America. So many different things that you could have done rather than choosing a moment from one of the more non-favorite films in Marvel. I don't know, but you know what? It is what it is. I didn't get it, but a lot of people did, and a lot of people also tried to get their money back too. So, a bit of a miss here, Funko. I'm sorry. And another big miss was the 12 Days of Funko Christmas. There were not that many that many people were so excited about. I mean, there are some that do stand out, like the vinyl figure of the Knick-Knack Snowman and the Snow Globe. I think that that is wonderful. I'm sure so many people were excited for the Teletubbies 4-pack, which is still available, by the way. And I didn't understand the Pillsbury Doughboy, but I get it now. But I don't know, these aren't really the most fun pops compared to last year, and I don't really know. They didn't do such a good job this year. So let's also look at the bright side that I had no interest in any of these, so I saved a little bit of money. But I'm sure that there were some people that did find value in these. And now let's go into some of the new lines that are available everywhere and are not exclusives, but we will be getting to some exclusives later. We have an extension to the Crash Bandicoot line, including Coco as well as Aku Aku, which a lot of people are excited about, as well as 2 new versions of Crash, including a GameStop exclusive. Also from video games, we have to talk about Fortnite. You guys know my attitude, and they had a massive first wave, but now a second wave is coming out even sooner, and there's a brand new 10 of them coming out, characters that I think people are very excited about, but again, I don't really know much about this game. I'm not interested in this, but they also do have all those little codes on each of their boxes for in-game content. And BlizzCon is offering a new character from Overwatch, Ashe. I don't know if everybody got a chance to get them at BlizzCon, but she was available there. And now let's go into some anime. We have Voltron from the new Netflix show, and a lot of people are excited about this set because there are so many awesome details on these, and you've also got an Amazon exclusive of Voltron himself, as well as a Hot Topic glow-in-the-dark of the character Shiro. And I love the details on the Voltrons. Of course, they're 6-inch pops, oversized. Unfortunately, the original Voltron was not, which was so weird, but I really like the fact that they made the old version of Voltron, but the fact that this new series is really gaining ground, it is nice to see the fandom being represented here. And of course, another big announcement was the newest wave of Attack on Titan. I believe this is wave 3 now. I haven't watched the show, but I know it's really, really good, so maybe I'll get around to it one day. But all of you fans out there of Attack on Titan, there is a new wave coming. And of course, there are some new additions to Dragon Ball Z, including some amazing-looking exclusives. I believe that some of them are featured at GameStop, as well as Galaxy Toys and Hot Topic, and even Funimation.com. They are offering the Flocked Beerus, which I know got sold out after day 1, so who knows if there's going to be a restock. But I love the look of Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Part of me wants it, but I don't know if I'm going to get it, but it looks fantastic, as well as the Super Saiyan Gohan Level 2 looks absolutely fantastic. I love the lightning all around him. So incredible. But again, not sure if I'm going to get my hands on the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I know that there are more rumors of more Dragon Ball Z characters coming out, including Android 17 and 18. I'll probably save my money for those. And a line that so many people are excited about, Footy Cootie, or FLCL, a very, 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 very short anime series that finally got a second season, I believe. But this was such an outlandish show. I saw all 6 episodes of the first season, and it didn't make sense in the slightest. But what I did love was the soundtrack. Absolutely fantastic. But I'm sure that there are so many fans out there who have read the manga, love the show, so guys, FLCL Pops are coming. Enjoy. And there's also going to be a new wave of Tokyo Ghoul. There were a couple that came out about, I think, 2 years ago maybe. Not exactly sure, but it was a while ago. But it is nice to see the fans getting more characters from this show. And going into the world of regular animation, there's another wave of Rick and Morty. Are you not surprised? Of course there's going to be more Rick and Morty. These are selling. They are selling massively. But I'm still waiting for the Butterfly. That's the only Funko Pop from Rick and Morty that I would love to have. But they're going to be But I know for a fact that these will sell because this is like an infamous 6th wave Rick and Morty pop, so no surprise there. And of course, classic Nicktoons, there's an expansion coming out with some of your favorite characters from Hey Arnold, as well as 2 GameStop exclusives there. The Rugrats line is expanding. I mean, come on, you can't have the Rugrats without Angelica. I'm hoping that there will be a Phil and Lil double pack somewhere down the line. You even get Spike. That is awesome. But another new group that is coming out is the Wild Thornberries, and you can get Eliza, Donnie, and Nigel. I'm actually kind of surprised that Darwin was not included, but who knows? If those 3 Wild Thornberry Pops sell, I'm pretty certain that there will be more. And we've got more Betty Boops coming out. That one is also apparently doing well. So we've got Nurse Betty Boop and Sweetheart Betty Boop. And wow, you talk about Betty Boop as a retro cartoon. Some of you who are watching this may not even know about Felix the Cat. I watched a few episodes of this cartoon character. He's older than Mickey Mouse. Can you believe that? But there's going to be a regular Felix the Cat as well as a Funko Shop exclusive of Felix the Cat holding his legendary bag of tricks. Part of me is thinking about getting my hands on the Felix the Cat, maybe the Funko Shop exclusive, only because of the fact that I'm now apparently one of these people that really wants to preserve classic cartoon characters. I already have Popeye, I have the Jetsons, I have some classic Looney Tunes characters in my collection. To let people know that these amazing characters existed from the 1900s all the way to the 1970s, you know, we need people to know that these existed. So, I love it, Funko. Thank you for making another great classic cartoon character. And now let's take a look at a couple of random ones. These are all going to be commons, including a Pop ad icon. So there you go, guys. You can get your hands on a Captain Crunch. There's also going to be a 13th Doctor. There was an exclusive to the con, which was an early release, but now we're going to get another version of her. The WWE line is getting Ronda Rousey, but the one here that sticks out is the Rudy Pop. I mean, everybody loves that movie. It is a legendary film. Also, take a look at the number. It's number 699 in the movies. That means that the movie line is hitting a new milestone. Congratulations, Funko. We already know that the television line has hit 700, so that's even more awesome. But Rudy is an awesome movie. You guys have to see it. I'm not going to get the Pop, but I am so happy that they're making a Rudy Pop, because I know so many people who will get it. And Conan is giving us some more. These are all going to be GameStop exclusive of his series Conan Without Borders, which is him in various culture clothing. We'll go clockwise. We've got him in lederhosen, we've got him in a K-pop outfit, we've got him in Armenian robes, and we got him as a luchador. So these are all going to be available at GameStop, everybody, and they're not going to be that hard to find, I am sure. So if you are Conan fans and you want to continue your line of Conan Pops, go for your Conans Without Borders. And now let's move into the wide world of sports. We've got the NBA line expanding again. This is wave 5, I believe, and now they changed it a little bit. They actually are now putting the logos of the teams on their boxes rather than the NBA logo. And they've also changed the poses. There are actually basketball players dribbling rather than them just standing upright and holding a basketball. But we've also got some new teams represented, including the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Philadelphia 76ers. That is awesome. We even have a Kristaps Porzingis, which actually looks like Kristaps Porzingis this time around. Do I want to get it? I don't know. I'd probably want to wait for another Nick to add to my collection, but Foot Locker also got into the game here, and they offered an exclusive home jersey label Lakers LeBron James. He's a new sculpt, he's got the big beard, and if you didn't get your Foot Locker exclusive, there is going to be a regular common of him in his away Lakers jersey. So NBA fans, more of your favorites are coming. But one of the things that I'm even more excited about is the fact that the NHL line is expanding with Wave 3, and that is awesome because there are some great players, including Zach Parise, we've got TJ Oshie, we've got Marc-Andre Fleury, which is also in the very first of 2 Las Vegas Golden Knights pops. We also have Claude Giroux. I know that my friend Pucks and Paperbacks is excited for a flyer coming out along with Wayne Simmons, but we've also got some new teams being represented, including the Buffalo Sabres as well as the Nashville Predators. But of course, there's another Ranger coming in the group, and that of course is Matt Zuccarello. I've got to get my hands on Zooks. I love him, and I'm so glad to note there is going to be another Ranger representing. But there are going to be exclusives, and unfortunately, it's not what we want because they're all Canada exclusives. So it looks like you're only going to be getting Canadian teams in Canada, but it is nice to see the representation. There's also even a Sidney Crosby, and there's a reason why. I mean, take a look at what's next to him. It's going to be Sidney Crosby with the Stanley Cup, but there's another specific hockey player in this grouping. It's the great one. It's Wayne Gretzky in his Edmonton Oilers jersey, and there's even a chase of him with the Stanley Cup. There's also a concept art of him in his Los Angeles Kings jersey. I have a feeling that that might actually be a common, so that's good for people in the United States who want to get their hands on the great one and add him to their collection. I personally am hoping that that means there's going to be more retro players, because if there's going to be a Funko Pop of Mark Messier holding the Stanley Cup over his head in a New York Rangers jersey, you better believe that I'm adding that one to my collection. I need the captain, Mark Messier. That moment for New York Rangers fans, such a landmark in our history. I really hope that these Wayne Gretzky Pops are the start of something big. And now let's go into music. For the 100th pop in the Pop Rocks line, it's Rick James, bitch! So if you are a Rick James fan, I'm sure you're going to want to get your hands on this super freak. And we've also got AC/DC coming, and it is versions of Angus Young. You've got the regular of him in the schoolboy outfit. You've also got an FYE exclusive of a different color, but you've also got a chase of him in the same outfit, but it's blue, and he's got horns on his hat. That is commemorating on one of the albums. I love the fact that they're making AC/DC pops, but I am a little upset that it's only Angus Young, especially considering the fact that we lost Malcolm Young last year. It would be nice to see more AC/DC representation. Do I want to get this Angus Young? Part of me is sort of eyeing it, but I don't think I am going to, even though I am a huge AC/DC fan. But here's a line that I am so happy about. It's the Queen line, especially since I saw Bohemian Rhapsody. And I'm also really happy that you get the entire band and not just Freddie Mercury. But you do get a couple of versions of Freddie Mercury. You get one that is even an FYE exclusive, and it's a diamond collection. It's his pose and his moment from Madison Square Garden. But I am definitely getting a Queen pop. I must get Freddie Mercury. He is one of the greatest singers of all time in all of rock. I mean, they just announced that Bohemian Rhapsody is the most streamed song in all of classic rock and roll in the 20th century. That's amazing. So I am definitely going to be getting the Freddie Mercury of him with his fist up in the air in his yellow jacket from the Wembley Stadium concert. That is going to be added to my collection, and I cannot wait to get this, and I'm going to put him next to my Bohemian Rhapsody DVD when it comes out. But this is not music, guys, nor is this hockey. But when it comes to Queen and Bohemian Rhapsody, you have to give props to Wayne's World. I love the fact that they're actually just making a Wayne's World line, and they're not part of the Saturday Night Live line, but I saw these up close, and they are fantastic. You can get Wayne Campbell and Garth, and you can even get a 2-pack of the two of them in hockey jerseys. That is pretty damn awesome. And now let's take a look at a little bit more television. We've got a Netflix show called La Casa de Papel. This apparently is a very popular show, and I never heard of it, and I love the fact that it actually is a Spanish subtitled Netflix show. I've heard amazing things about this. It's like a heist show. Please feel free to leave your comments in the box below if you've watched it, and you can also get 2 characters in chase forms with their robbery masks on them. And when it comes to television, you can't get such a cult classic favorite than the show Scrubs, and Scrubs fans, I know, are so excited for these 4. And now let's take a look at some retro. We're moving on up, everybody. We've got the Jeffersons coming out in pop form. We've got George and Wheezy, and we've even got a Target double pack of the 2 of them. I know so many people that love this show. I never watched it, but I know that it is a legendary show in television history. I have a feeling I will end up watching a few episodes one day, but I love their looks, especially George Jefferson. I love the way they got his hair. And talk about the Jeffersons, let's see something truly, truly outrageous. We've got Jem and the Holograms pops coming. 80s fans are going to flip over these 2. You've got Jem, of course, and you've also got Pizzazz Gabor, who is the head of the rival band, The Misfits. Why do I know this? I'm an 80s child, that's why. But I know a lot of people who are such Jem fans. I never watched the show, but I do know the theme song. It's one of the most amazing theme songs ever in all of 80s cartoons. So Jem fans, you can get these truly, truly outrageous Funko Pops. And now we've also got another truly classic television show, and it is Boy Meets World. And what? These don't look good at all. I mean, they look so plain. I mean, it's just Cory and Topanga, and that's even worse. I'm like, how could you make a Boy Meets World line and not include Feeny? Feeny? You have to have Mr. Feeny. And not just Mr. Feeny. You should have Eric and you should have Sean. Hell, I would take Minkus if you made him. But these don't look that good at all. I mean, I appreciate the fact that they're trying to reach out to the Boy Meets World fandom. I mean, it's such a great show and there are so many fans of this show, but they just did not do a good job. And just 2 of them, such a disservice. And now take a look at some exclusives. We've got a Barnes & Noble exclusive of Ultraman. This was a Pop Asia exclusive, so it is nice to know that over time you are now going to be able to get him in the United States. And we also have a whole bunch of exclusives from Target. Not only do we get a Saturday Night Live character in the Target Lady, of course played by Kristen Wiig, but we've got a whole bunch of oversized pops. We've got a 10-inch Pikachu, we've got a 10-inch Green Goblin from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and another really good one, which is an ad icon. It is an oversized 10-inch pop of Bullseye, the Target dog, and all the proceeds go to St. Jude's Hospital. Very nice gesture, good for the holiday season. If I was able to, I would get my hands on that for the sake of giving to St. Jude. And let's take a look at a couple of additional horror-themed exclusives, if you will. We've got a calendar store Beetlejuice glow-in-the-dark. We've also got an Entertainment Earth glow-in-the-dark version of Pennywise with his tentacles. But of course, the one that I know a lot of people are excited about is the movie moment of Lock, Shock, and Barrel in the bathtub. And that, of course, is exclusively at Hot Topic, and the details look great. So let's continue this with a couple of Marvel things, and we've got some interesting exclusives all over the board. We've got some from Hot Topic and some from FYE as well as a regular, and 2 of these are movie moments, and of course they're from Avengers Infinity War. We've got a common, which is Thor versus Thanos, and then we've got a Hot Topic exclusive of Captain America versus Thanos in that legendary moment from the trailer where he is stopping Thanos' fist from moving forward. Now you see, that moment, if that was in the 10-year anniversary of the MCU box, that would have been acceptable, but I'm kind of happy that it was not, because I'm pretty certain that if the Iron Man 2 pop was a common, it wouldn't sell. This one at least would sell, so you sort of have to back people into a corner saying, hey, if you want this collector's box, buy this pop, I don't care which one it is. But I'm very happy that that one is not in the box. And you also get an FYE exclusive Chromium Gold Rocket Raccoon, as well as the Infinity Gauntlet in a glass dome. That's our glass domed item of the year. We've had 2 gold droids, as well as the Rose from Beauty and the Beast, least, this is definitely a nice little treat for people to have. And we've also got some DC exclusives. We've got the Geek Box, which is a holiday-themed Bombshell Harley Quinn and Dula Dent from Hot Topic, as well as 2 more Jim Lee comic moment exclusives from GameStop. And we've got Aquaman and The Flash. They look wonderful. I love the details on both of them, especially the cloud of smoke and the little gold streaks from The Flash. I love it so much. Not gonna get these, but very happy that they're making them. And Hot Topic has some more exclusives, including a holiday-themed Sora from Kingdom Hearts, as well as Dean from Supernatural in a gold-blooming pose as a gym teacher. I don't know, this is weird. And Waddles from Gravity Falls. And we've also got some Walgreens exclusives, 2 from Spider-Man, as well as 2 new Star Wars Pops. And once again, very happy about the Star Wars Pops because they are from the prequels. We've got a Jango Fett from Episode 2, and of course, Darkside Anakin from Episode 3. They look wonderful. Not gonna add them to my collection, but love the fact that they're coming. And we've also got Nacho Libre, a movie that I had no intentions of seeing, not interested in the slightest, but Jack Black is a pop now, so I guess that that's a good thing. And you can get him in a regular version as well as a chase version of him with his full luchador costume on. And here's a movie line that I think people are very excited about. This one is definitely one for the ladies, and especially the one after this too. We've got Dirty Dancing, the 80s classic with Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, and I know so many people that are friends of mine that are huge fans of the late Patrick Swayze. So the fact that we are going to have Patrick Swayze in a pop form is making so many people just so excited, and I love their sculpts. They did such a great job, and I love the hair sculpting on both of them. And if you just want them both together, you can get them in a double pack from Target. You know what? I knew this was coming. It's Titanic. You can get Rose and Jack alone, and as you can see, these have officially passed the 700th movie pop, so congratulations, Funko. And wow, they're actually making Titanic pops. I cannot believe it. And in the spirit of the La La Land double pack, you can also from Target get an exclusive Rose and Jack in different outfits from the film in Titanic as well. And now take a look at some movie characters that I am actually excited about. We've got the newest wave of Lord of the Rings. This is wave 4, as I mentioned earlier in this video. So many great characters, including Legolas and Gimli, who I own. You can also get the Witch King and Galadriel and a Hot Topic exclusive of Elrond. I love that. I also love the Dunharrow King. The details look fantastic. But I also love the Boromir because I love the fact that he's got the Horn of Gondor in his hand. I love that. And I'm pretty certain that this is not done. There's going to be more Lord of the Rings pops. We need Éomer and Éowyn and Faramir and Denethor and Thorin. We need so many more characters from Lord of the Rings, and if they've gone this far, there is no doubt in my mind they're going to go further. And now let's go into the Wizarding World. We've got a whole bunch of new Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts pops, including a movie moment from Hot Topic, which is so stupid. I don't understand why they did this, but yeah, it's the Crimes of Grindelwald with a Thestral. Don't get it, but they got Nagini. I like the fact that they've got Nagini. But I think they did a better job with the newest wave of Harry Potter pops. We've got so many fan favorites and so many great moments, including a beautiful pop movie moment of Ron from the Sorcerer's Stone on the chess piece. We also have a brand new Hagrid of him holding Harry's birthday cake. And we've also got some really good fan favorites, including Hermione in cat form, as well as Ron holding a howler. And we've even got Hedwig as her own pop. I think that that is adorable. So, yeah, you knew that when there was going to be more Harry Potter, there was going to be some exclusives. And some great exclusives because I called it! Oh, did I not call it? We've got Ron with the sorting hat. It's a Barnes & Noble exclusive. We've also got a flocked Hedwig from GameStop, and of course the Seamus Finnegan, and the Professor McGonagall in cat form from Books A Million, and a Hot Topic exclusive of Hermione sitting with her legs crossed brewing the Polyjuice potion. But we've also got some other really good exclusives. We've got a Hot Topic t-shirt box with a flocked Sirius Black in dog form, but the one that a lot of people were excited about was the movie moment from Box Lunch, which was Harry Potter walking to Hogwarts Station on platform 9 3/4. Beautiful details, love the look, don't want it, but glad that it's here. And of course, the line that is just tearing the house down is the new Captain Marvel line, and wow. They've milked it. They have milked it. They milk all the MCU. I cannot believe how many of these they are making, including chases and a cat named Goose. I don't get it. I mean, I like the fact that they're making a Skrull because the Skrulls apparently are a major part of this movie. It's based around the Kree versus Skrull War, which is a major moment in Marvel comic book history. We also have Nick Fury with 2 eyes, as well as a pop ride of Carol Danvers on her motorcycle. And yeah, did you not anticipate exclusives with this? We've got Flock, we've got Glow in the Dark, and we've got everybody just jumping into this. But look, I don't know how good the movie's gonna be. I'm still seeing it, but they're just going all out. And I also don't like the fact that they're doing this now because they're spoiling the movie. I mean, now everybody just wants to know about this goddamn cat. I want to know about this cat. But not getting any of these pops, that's for sure. We've also got some pops from the popular Disney Channel show Star vs. the Forces of Evil. You can get some of your favorite characters, including a Hot Topic exclusive, and the details on that one are just incredible. And of course, another film that's getting milked. We've got Mary Poppins Returns. Am I seeing this movie in theaters? Probably not, because, I don't know, I just have a thing. But, yeah, you can get your very own little Lin-Manuel Miranda if you want that one so badly, because of course he's in the movie. But we've also got so many versions of Mary Poppins, including a Hot Topic exclusive. I mean, again, I don't know about this movie. I really have no intentions of seeing this movie in theaters. If it's good, I'll be very, very grateful, but no, not for me. And of course, we've got 2 Disney classics that are getting an expansion, and yes, one of these is going to be going into my collection. We've got some more Aladdin pops, including a chase of Jasmine in her disguise holding an apple, as well as a regular version of the genie. We've also got Prince Ali and Iago. Oh, I'm so glad that Iago came out. I actually have him already in my collection, and I will feature him very, very soon. But you can also get Elephant Taboo and a new movie moment of a whole new world of Aladdin and Jasmine on the flying carpet, floating over the water. Very, very beautiful. And you got new Lion King pops. Yep. Lion King is not done, especially celebrating the live-action film, but this is obviously for the animated film, and it also includes another milestone in Funko, the 500th Disney Pop. Congratulations. But you've got a new version of Simba and Nala, and the details on these sculpts do look beautiful. I love them. You've also got the Luau, Pumbaa, and Timon from one of the best moments in the film. You've also got Mufasa, so if you want a little James Earl Jones in your collection, there you go, but I am actually getting Zazu. First of all, I love the look. It's beautiful. But the reason why I'm getting Zazu, this is part of the reasons as to why Funko is such a great thing, because it holds on to that little sentimental nostalgia thing within all of us. And for me, I follow the Zazu mentality at work. My office opens at around 8:30, and people start coming into the office at 9 o'clock, 9:30, some people even come at 10. But I'm one of the first people in the office. I'm there at 7:30 every single day, because we do not get paid overtime, we have a fixed schedule, so because of the fact that I come in early, I actually get to leave a little bit earlier. So I follow the Zazu mentality. Do you know what the Zazu mentality is? Well, let Zazu tell you.
Step lively. The sooner we get to the waterhole, the sooner we can leave.
So I kind of feel that Zazu has to be a part of my collection, and not only that, he has to be displayed in my office. So we will see if that's actually going to happen. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to get my hands on Zazu. And to finish this off, we also have to talk about the celebration of the 90th anniversary of Mickey Mouse again. So many amazing things that Funko has been using to celebrate, including 3 more versions of Mickey, including Conductor Mickey, Plain Crazy Mickey, and Holiday Mickey, as well as the Boxed Lunch exclusive, which is now going to be a regular, which is Sorcerer Mickey, which is the movie moment. There's also going to be some various color versions of Mickey, as well as a do-it-yourself Mickey and a 10-inch version of an alternate color of Mickey. But you're also going to be able to get a t-shirt of Mickey at Amazon.com, which will also include a silver triple pack of various Mickeys, including the Fancy Conductor Mickey, the Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey, and Steamboat Willie. Now, I don't know if they're only going to be included in the t-shirt pack, or if they're actually going to be a 3-pack on their own, which is why I'm displaying both. But I love the fact that Mickey got such a celebration. I'm surprised that Superman didn't get that treatment. And I'm very curious to see what's going to happen next year when we celebrate the 80th anniversary of Batman. So I'm kind of excited about that, but man, they really tipped their hats off to the mouse. They did such an amazing job. And as I said, I really have nothing else to say. This is so much details already, so much news. I don't even know what's in store for us in January. I mean, there's a couple of things that have gotten leaked, like Avatar: The Last Airbender. There's also going to be a Modern Family line. I mean, they're showing some leaked information, but I kind of want to see the official glam shots. And there's even going to be Pusheen pops. I mean, wow. Can Pusheen have any other way of getting cuter? I don't know, but everything else is really up in the air. I don't really know what else is coming, but you guys know that when the year rolls around in 2019, there's going to be pop updates every single month with plenty of news to share. Thank you very much for joining me. As always, guys, I love to talk about Funko Pops with you. Please put your comments in the box below. Let me know if you have some amazing Funko Pop stories to share and what Funko Pops you are hoping to get for the holidays. And more importantly, what Funko Pops are you excited to see in 2019. But in the meantime, I will see you in the next one. Have a happy and healthy New Year. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.